Hola y bienvenidos a Spanish Chat Learning. Prepárate para embarcarte en un viaje increíble a través de la lengua inglesa, donde cada palabra es una puerta a nuevas aventuras. Así que ponte cómodo, abre tu mente y deja que la magia del inglés te envuelva. Comencemos.
The engine of change, the Industrial Revolution. In the late 18th century, a wind of transformation began to blow across the tranquil rural lands of England. It was a quiet change at first, but soon it turned into a roar that would resonate through the centuries. The Industrial Revolution, as it would come to be known, was not just a period of inventions and technological advances. It was a time when the world as it was known was shaken to its core, giving rise to a new era of progress and challenges. The green hills of England, once dominated by farmers and shepherds, began to give way to imposing structures, factories. These brick and steel giants rose like colossi across the landscape, powered by the energy of steam engines. Chimneys spewed black smoke that mingled with the sky, a visible symbol of a transformation that was both industrial and social. At the heart of this revolution was James Watt, a Scottish engineer whose name would be forever etched in the books of history. Watt did not invent the steam engine, but his ingenuity and tenacity allowed him to perfect it to a point where it became the true engine of change. His improved steam engine not only powered textile and steel factories but also locomotives and ships, marking the beginning of an era where distances were shortened and cities began to expand rapidly. The arrival of these new factories was not just an economic change, but a social revolution. Thousands of people left their rural homes, where time seemed to flow with the rhythm of the seasons, to venture into the emerging industrial cities. In these new urban centers, life was different, with a frenetic pace dictated by the incessant sound of machines. Workers, many of them former peasants turned laborers, faced exhausting shifts that often exceeded 12 hours, in conditions that would today be considered inhumane. The social structure was shaken by this new order. Social classes, which had been relatively stable until then, began to reorganize. A new class emerged, the working class, whose members, though numerous, had little power. On the other hand, the factory owners, an emerging elite, began to accumulate wealth and power, shaping the destiny of cities and the nation. However, this new wealth was not without its shadows. With the rise of factories came the increase in child labor. Children as young as 5 were forced to work in dangerous conditions, with no time for education or play, trapped in a reality that robbed them of their childhood. The revolution not only brought social and economic changes but also an environmental impact that still resonates today. The factories, with their endless chimneys, transformed the pure air of the countryside into clouds of smog. Rivers, once crystal clear, became dumping grounds for industrial waste, marking the beginning of an ecological crisis that, though nascent at the time, would be a lasting legacy of the Industrial Revolution. But amidst these contrasts, the Industrial Revolution was also a period of innovation and progress. Life accelerated, and with it came advances that transformed everyday existence. Railroads connected cities and countries, facilitating trade and cultural exchange. Communications improved, and soon the invention of the telegraph would allow messages to be sent over long distances in minutes. Medicine also advanced, and although hospitals were far from what we know today, surgical techniques began to improve, saving lives that would otherwise have been lost. Nevertheless, the Industrial Revolution was a time of great contrasts. While some benefited greatly from technological advances and economic prosperity, others suffered under the weight of exploitation and poverty. The working-class neighborhoods, where those who labored in the factories lived, were dark, damp places where diseases spread easily. In the end, the Industrial Revolution left an indelible mark on history. It was an era of great innovations and opportunities, but also of challenges and inequalities. It forever changed the way people lived and worked, and while it brought progress, it also reminded us that advancement is not always synonymous with improvement for everyone. It is a legacy that even today, centuries later, we continue to explore and understand as we seek a balance between progress and humanity.
Gracias por acompañarnos en este episodio de Spanish Chat Learning. Esperamos que hayas disfrutado de la historia y que sigas avanzando en tu camino para dominar el inglés. No olvides suscribirte al podcast para no perderte ningún episodio. Y si quieres explorar aún más contenido exclusivo, visita nuestra página web en SpanishChatLearning.com. Nos vemos en el próximo episodio, donde continuaremos esta emocionante aventura en el mundo del inglés.